Envision your most like integrated or embodied self. What would they be doing throughout each day of the week? What's stopping you from living that week now?
The more integrated you become, I feels like the gap between those should get smaller and smaller.
Exactly. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Tianee.
And I'm Taylor. Welcome to Inner Orbit, your tool for navigating the energetic world around you. Lately, we've been talking about some pretty big things, generational transits and everything lunar. Today, we're going to get into some more of the day-to-day stuff that you can do with astrology, the everyday application that's not so heavy and serious and monumental. So I'm excited because this is actually an area I haven't dug into too much. I feel like I have started with a very zoomed out lens when it came to astrology. So I'm looking forward to you teaching me some things today.
Yes. I'm excited. I feel like we've been talking about such heavier themes for the last few episodes.
Yeah.
That this one is a little bit more fun, a little bit more upbeat,
Yeah.
a little bit more like, okay, let's just focus back into what can I do on a day to day and not just get so pulled into like collective chaos and things of that nature.
I love that.
Yeah. So exciting topic. This is actually one of my favorite topics. I use it daily because it's daily astrology. And it's helped me kind of optimize the energy that's there for that day. So you can do things like plan out job interviews, plan out dates, plan out when you're going to have a little cuddle or whatever, based upon like where the planets are and what days they rule and things of that nature. So let's just dive right in.
Let's dive right in. Where should we begin?
We are going to start first with talking about why it's so important to have a routine in the first place. The information will be better for you as a person if you're able to ground it into a daily routine and ritual. I know that you as a person specifically, you love having some sort of like routine that you do.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about like why this is important for you?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about what I can do to even improve my routine more, leveraging some of this. But for me, I know that on a day-to-day basis, I feel most grounded if I ease into my day. I have my little matcha in the morning. I journal. I really ease in, very Taurian. And I really need that mental moment to myself to figure out, who am I today? How do I feel energetically? Where my cycle am I? Where is the moon cycles? Truly, I track all of this. And sometimes I'll do creative writing in the morning if I'm able to as well. And then set my intention for the day. What do I want to feel today? What do I want to, sometimes I'll say, what do I want to accomplish? And sometimes it's a day where I don't want to wear that burden.
Yeah.
I just want to feel something. What I like about astrology in general is that it points the camera in a certain direction. It gives you an intention. So I think that's what you're going to help me with. It's like, if I have a day where I go to journal and I'm a little bit lost and I'm feeling funky and I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do today.
Yeah.
This might help me point my compass
Give you a
somewhere.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like we got into during the lunar episode, like you don't have to have everything figured out.
Yeah.
Energy has this like rhythmic nature to it. Just sync up with the energy that's already available. And at least this is like a beautiful map to help you know, like, well, today this is what's available to me. So maybe I should just focus here.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why establishing a base of a routine or being receptive to having some sort of continuity is really important before we dive into like planetary day ownership and things of that nature, because you have to have that framework already set up, or at least the receptivity to create that foundation for you. This just goes back into getting a nice, smooth, regulated nervous system. That's a very Virgoan theme. Daily routines, remember that's your sixth house. That's a Virgo theme. Your Virgo is going to rule how you set up your daily life and your ritual. So if you need a baseline on where to start to even get this going, check where Virgo is in your chart, check the house that it's in your chart as well, and maybe apply some of those themes and techniques into that specific life area for you as a beautiful framework. You don't have to start with planning your whole day, but if you just wanted to plan like a segment of like my morning looks like this and now I'm ready to go. Now that we have that clear, let's talk about what planetary days are and the accompanying hours that the planets own. Each day is ruled by one of the specific planets. And during those specific days is where you will have just minor energetic themes and tones that will help you kind of ground into the energy that's available, even though there might be larger scale things going on. But we want to look at things from an individualistic point of view. Sunday is ruled by the sun. Monday, Moon Day,
Oh,
ruled by the moon. You have Tuesday, which is ruled by Mars. You have Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury. Thursday, ruled by Jupiter. Friday, ruled by Venus. And Saturday, Saturn Day.
wow. So, like, if you've been paying attention to our signs and everything we've been talking about, even hearing that alone, it's like I can kind of understand the energy of each day. Right.
Yes.
So, Tuesday, I'm taking it that, like, Mars, it's a day for action.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. If you know that you're scheduling a job interview, scheduling that for Wednesday, a day that you're supposed to communicate, or Thursday, where that's your like an abundant day, would be way better than scheduling that on a Monday or a moon day where
Yeah.
your emotions are a little bit more fluctuating. You should be more restful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this is a collective thing. We think that you waking up to go to work on Monday feels so just feels so difficult to do because it's like, oh, it's the
Heavy.
start of the work week.
Sluggish.
Yeah. And it could definitely be that, but it's also because we're working against the energetic template of that day. Monday should not actually be the start of our work week. We should be resting. We should be meal prepping. We should be having meals with our families. We should be coming into our intuition and just feeling ourselves out. Monday is actually a really great day to solidify the emotional rhythm for the rest of the week. And if we're spending that day working,
Yeah.
we feel sluggish and tired.
I mean, in the corporate workplace, you do see more like no meeting Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is at least a step forward into that, like ease in to that week. Do not force yourself to have tremendous output or constant communication with all your colleagues.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hate scheduling meetings on a Monday.
Yes.
We'll try not to do that.
It feels like it's punching you in the face.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Or even just like Saturday,
Yeah.
which is ruled by Saturn. That should be a day of organizing and filing,
gosh.
getting. And Saturday is the day that we think is fun.
Yeah.
You know? So like honestly, we need a little bit of the times need to catch up.
Yeah.
And they kind of have when we have this hybrid work
Yeah.
thing going on and things of that
Things
nature.
are changing.
Yeah. So just running through a really quick overview. Sunday should be a day for creativity, leadership, expression, and fun. That's ruled by the sun. Monday should be that day of nourishment, of nurturing yourself, feeding yourself well. Tuesday should be a day of athleticism, sex,
Busy week.
very,
kidding.
it's a good way to start the week off, very visceral, very,
Yeah.
if you have projects going on, you want to lead in that sector of life. Wednesday, you can be a little bit more creative, communicative, learning, going to seminars, networking. Think of Thursday like your yes day, essentially ruled by Jupiter. So this is a great time to ask for a promotion, great time to ask somebody for a favor. It's a day where you're going to indulge in things. Maybe you want to wine and dine a little bit. And Friday, my favorite day of the week, this is our day ruled by Venus. This is the day you want to go shopping, spend your money that some of us get paid on Fridays, things of that nature. And again, Saturday is a wonderful time to organize, do your taxes, plan out, well, what are the projects that I want to work on? And Saturday is also a really great day of establishing boundaries with yourself. Like, what am I not willing to do anymore? Because I
Yeah.
got some goals. It's not a day we should be going out and partying or anything like that all too much. But, here we are. Now that we've established this rhythm of what to do from like a day-to-day basis, then it gets a little bit more minuscule and we take a look into hours that the planets own.
And before we go that granular, like I think what I already like about this is astrology. Like what's appealing about it to me? One of the many things is how many opportunities it gives us. I think as westernized humans, we're so forced into this like one calendar year. Like what are your goals? Did you achieve them or not? And even getting into the lunar cycles, we talked about how like every month's a rebirth, right? Every month's a new opportunity. And now we're getting into every week's an opportunity. And now it feels like every hour is an opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's like not in that westernized make the most of every 2 seconds. It's this more freeing, like we're constantly being rebirthed and unburdening ourselves of like this maximum output. Like I gotta accomplish all these goals. There's always an opportunity to reset them. Like that's what I find really exciting about this.
Yeah. I love how you bring that up because it's like, oh, if I missed my mark last Wednesday, Well, I know Mercury Day is coming back around from then. Let me just
Yeah.
like reschedule something
Yes.
around that time too.
Yeah.
So, what I'm hearing is that it allows for a little bit more grace
Yes.
and it can take being overwhelmed with it just being a human
Yeah.
off of you. And I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah. So now what do I do with my hours?
Yes, this is the integral part here. So not only knowing what day the planets rule, but when you can get things down to the hour. Okay, fun fact, I used to be really like anal about this.
Mm.
Like I used to be like, I'm gonna cook my meal
So
during
maybe there's a
moon
shadow
hour.
around this.
There is a shadow because what we're talking about is Virgoan.
Hmm.
So you get this very micromanaging, very like I'm going to feel out of order if I don't read my book during this hour. And I
Hmm.
used to be like that. And it actually made life so much more overwhelming for me. And it made me feel like, damn, I actually really messed up or I missed an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I wasn't even using this for the expansiveness that it really holds. And so that is a warning of something like if you are somebody who has huge Virgo or like earthy tendencies and you love routine, you love structure, remember this is a tool to help release you from having to have it all figured out, but it gives you a wonderful framework to be able to lean into what's already happening, what's already there for you. You're optimizing, you're not micromanaging.
That
Yeah.
kind of like sounded in my mind when you first said this is very Virgoan, all of
Mhm.
this, because we now know Virgo is our south node. We are
Yes.
releasing the burden of those Virgo tendencies while honoring the best of what Virgo brings. So
Mm.
that routine and order in a way that serves you. So I feel like that's always the gut check is this routine, like what does my stomach feel?
Yeah.
Like does
Yeah.
this, when I have my mornings and I do them for me, I feel nourished. I feel like
Mm.
easeful. I feel excited and ready for the day. When I go through my routine and I feel like, well, I didn't check that box and now I'm mad at myself, like that's the exact opposite intention. So it's good to be
Mhm.
like checking in with yourself, it sounds like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. I want to ask you if we can just recap some of those Virgoan themes because you hit on something
Mhm.
like really important about checking in with your intuition. Is
Yeah.
this working? Is this not working? What are some of those like Virgo shadow aspects that we're finding that might pop up as we try to integrate a system like this that we should just look out for?
I think one time we were like privately talking about Virgo elements and we both said like unnecessary problems. This like this holding on to unnecessary details and granularity and like feeling burdened by them. But when you
Mm,
take a step back, you're like, you created that. So it's the beauty of the details of like, hey, we're gonna organize this. We are gonna make a checklist. We are gonna think about our week and this type of a framework. But then yeah, if you missed one step, breathe. Like it's
yeah.
okay. You don't
Yeah.
need to all week long have anxiety about that one step that you missed. And obviously easier said than done. I think everyone was like probably rolling their eyes. Anxiety is not something most people want,
Mhm.
but there is an element of don't don't take on more than you need to. It's supposed these things are supposed to serve you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think you really hit that on the nail.
Yeah.
I think when we get more into that shadow aspect of this energy as well, feeling like you need to do it all
Mm.
and overestimating your capacity
Yeah.
because you don't want help.
Yeah.
And a tool like this might actually make you think like, oh, I'm not optimizing my time enough.
Yes.
You might actually get more self-critical because
Yes.
you're just like, oh, well, I know the sun hour is coming, like I did, like, the sun hour is coming up at 4.
Hmm.
So I definitely need to go sit down and work on my poetry now. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, there's other things that you can do during that hour
Yeah.
or take a beat, disregard it anyways, because like, and you bring this up quite a bit, be watchful of what you naturally do and
Hmm.
gravitate towards. Some of you, as you might think about integrating the system into your routine, might realize that you're already naturally doing this stuff
Yeah.
anyways,
So you don't need to do more. Like maybe you hear all
Exactly.
this and you're like, oh, that validates my natural rhythm.
Exactly.
Boom. That you've taken away enough. You don't need to change. And if I may add to that, again, we live in this capitalist society. There's so much out there about atomic habits and all these things that
Mm.
people are used to maximizing output as though we are all human factories or we're all robots. an integrated version of a human is very in touch with their intuition. And this is something I'm actively learning. But that's why when I mentioned my morning routine, I genuinely do track my cycle, the moon cycle, these things like that. I check in exactly how I'm feeling. Do I feel nourished from the food I ate the day before? Did I
Mm,
sleep well? Like,
mhm.
because we aren't robots and we don't want to be if we want to like maintain a sense of humanity. So checking in with how you feel on a day-to-day basis and changing up your expectations from the day based
Yeah.
on that is so important, and it's definitely not something that's talked about in all these productivity books, right?
Mhm.
Like we are not robots.
Yeah.
Like be in touch with that. So marry this wonderful advice that like I feel like you're giving such a beautiful framework for people who are kind of like I don't know where to start. That's we need that. And then listen to yourself. Like nothing can beat your intuition.
At all. It
Yeah.
goes back into that like seed planting of like this might help you with your discernment,
Yes.
actually. So love that.
Discernment being a beautiful side of Virgo, like
Yes.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A well
absolutely.
integrated version of
Yeah.
Virgo.
I guess that segues us into talking about the more integrated aspect of these Virgoan traits and how that
Hmm.
might show up with using the system.
Hmm.
The shadow aspect is you might overestimate the capacity that you have. A great aspect is you might actually realize, oh, I could be optimizing the energy that's there a little bit more. So you might
Hmm.
actually see that you have more time than you think that
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Some people don't work well without having a framework. And so there's like this anxiety just planning things out in their head. So some people need a tangible representation of what to do with their time and their
Yeah.
day that'll have a visceral reaction for them. You might actually realize what needs to change because now
Hmm.
you are tracking it. So
Yeah.
like you were saying, like, what kind of meal did I have yesterday? Or if I know I'm on my luteal phase this week, I'm not going to the gym this week. I'm going to be a lot kinder to myself. I'm not creating these over expectations or, like you said before, creating these problems on purpose or unbeknownst to me. I can work with the rhythm of my body. I can give myself a little bit more grace.
Hmm.
But I also have these goals that I'd like to move towards and also accomplish that
Yeah.
I can now physically, tangibly see and have on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So, like, an application of that is Tuesday, right? Mars. You
Mm-hmm.
said day of taking action or athleticism. But if I'm having a Tuesday and I'm in my luteal phase, as you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
what action means to me that day could look very different.
It could look like being more mindful because
Hmm.
that's an action. I'm going to take an action to be more mindful. Or if I know that I like to be more physical on Tuesday, maybe that physical could come from maybe something like yin yoga
Yeah.
instead. Or maybe I don't have sex on Tuesday. I just cuddle with my partner or something.
Yeah.
But like no action is also inaction.
Yes.
You're just being more aware and being in control because that's a Virgoing theme. You're
Mhm.
being in control of the action that you're taking, essentially.
Speaking of Mars and speaking of the like well integrated benefic
Mhm.
aspects of Virgo, do you think this podcast would be live without our producers Virgo Mars?
That's a hard hell no.
So it's pretty good stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Pretty necessary stuff.
I love Chloe's Virgo Mars. I think if there's any type of like astrological hate on that placement, we've seen it work out in a very integrated and
Yeah.
like beautiful way. Aside from, I think when we talked about it before, it can be a little bit more self-critical or it can kind of micromanage the emotions and the actions of other people.
Hmm.
But I've seen in this partnership it work out in a way where it's been used as gentle nudges
Hmm.
because you're paying attention so much and you know how the other person thinks or what actually prompts them to move. I've seen it firsthand where there's different language used for both of us to
Hmm.
get us to think or act a certain way, but it's been used in a very positive manner to
Yeah.
create such a beautiful project.
Yeah.
So it's doing what it needs to do, so thank you. So when we get into the hours, similar to the days, planets rule specific hours of the specific day too. So
Hmm.
even though Mars rules on a Tuesday, you're still going to have a sun hour, which is still an opportunity to do things that work within that realm. But just remember, you get this interdisciplinary mixing of energy where it's still Mars driven, but then you combine that with the energy of the sun. So you get this driven expression of self. That's a wonderful time to maybe do some public speaking, you know?
It's feeling very Russian nesting dolls to me.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a wonderful way. So
Yeah.
like the more rhythmically complex things kind of get,
Mhm.
the more that you like lean in a little bit. And so if days right now works well, let's just stick to using days.
Yeah.
And then once you have that rhythm down, then you can add in the component of the hour ownership.
And there might be some days, like I'm just thinking hearing this, like, okay, there are some days where I don't have that choice, right? Like my day is full. And then there might be blank canvas days. I'm actually, this is helpful because I'm encountering this more and more as I have changed. Uranus has disrupted my house of daily routines. I've changed my work style. I have more of a canvas to create my own day. And that's both very freeing and terrifying. So like on those days, it feels like, you know what, if I can't think of where to begin, let me like slot in the best times for these things.
Yeah,
Whereas other days, again, we don't get the luxury of that, but this is helpful in those moments.
exactly. It takes back that autonomy or that empowerment.
Yeah.
Working with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that the planetary hours work, we have 24 hours in a day. We section it off into two 12-hour compartments. We have sunrise to sunset and sunset back to sunrise. Sunrise to sunset would be your like light hours, and then sunset to sunrise would be like your nighttime rulership. The timing shifts just depending on the seasons. As we know, sunrise and sunset alters a little bit. The planet that rules the specific day you're looking into is the planet that will start off the planetary hour for that day. So if the sun rose at 5:30 a.m. on a Wednesday, Mercury will kick off the planetary hour for that day at 5:30. That will last for an hour, close around, maybe a little bit over an hour. So from 5:30 to 6:30, Mercury ruled on a Mercury day. Then the next planet after that, we will use the Chaldean ancient method of counting 3 planets forward in a specific sequence. The next hour from that would move in a Chaldean sequence and be whatever that third planet from that sequence is.
We're getting fancy. Chaldean.
Yes.
I've never heard that word before.
Believe me, I didn't know how to pronounce it before the podcast either. But we're getting really, really technical here.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in this stuff, this is really, really neat stuff to get into. We'll provide you with some links and things to continue to do some research.
Some rabbit holes for later tonight.
Exactly.
My sunset hours.
Okay. And so that is kind of the framework of how that even works.
Okay.
And so like a wonderful example would be like if it's Venus Day, and from 12 to 1, you know that the moon rules that hour. That's a wonderful time to have a delicious lunch. Like plan out your work lunch hour around that time. So that's how you could like mix those energies together. Again, I love the classic interview scheduling time. I found out about planetary days and hours whenever I was interviewing for specific roles, and I would only schedule interviews for optimal times for me.
Good.
Around that time. And I found that to be really good. There were studies that showed like between Tuesday and Thursday was the best time to schedule interviews. And that was before I knew about this method. And then once I knew it, it was very validating. And I was like, duh.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of planetary hour ownership in a nutshell. Now we're going to do a little exercise.
Okay.
I like to play a little game.
Okay.
Now that we've learned a little bit about hours and day ownership, what do you think you would do on a Sunday now?
A Sunday. So Sunday is a creative day, if I recall correctly. So that's when I would definitely make sure I try to do creative writing every day, but Sunday would be like, this is the day. I'm going to do a longer prompt today. It's ruled by the sun. Would you want to be around friends and family? Would you want to gather?
That's a good like star power day.
Yeah.
Oh, What's your last name?
Oh, Taylor Starr.
Okay.
So it's my day.
Sunday might be your
Sunday's my
day. It might be your
day.
day.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, Sunday might be a very favorable day for you.
Okay.
Then. So yeah, that's a wonderful time to gather with others because you might be looked at a little bit more warmer, a little bit more favorable. People might be
Okay.
like, your hair looks good. You might get like compliments or something.
Oh,
Great day if you're a singer, maybe have a concert on
okay.
a Sunday or
Yeah.
something of that nature.
Wow.
I think you hit that.
Okay, great.
Monday.
Ease, nourish, rest, yoga, take care of myself, clock in, see how I'm feeling, be kind to myself about however I might be feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe some alone time if I have the luxury to find that and not feel guilty about that.
Oh, you're like passing this test.
Yeah. Oh, good.
You're, no, you're doing
My
good.
cat rising is very happy.
Hey. Yes, no, everything that you said. So that might be like a wonderful day for meal prepping, watching movies, doing some home renovations, staying home, staying in, emotional regulation, softness. Yes.
Yay.
What's after Monday? Tuesday. Yes.
I mean, I can't forget sex.
Yes, have sex.
Sorry to anyone. Move my body in some way. I would say like when I thought of Monday, I thought of like really being in touch with my inner self. And Tuesday is like, I want to ground with my body. I want to feel my physical body in any way, shape, or form. So it doesn't have to be what I said at first, but just really feeling my senses, be very Taurian, right? Feel my body, and then like move it in the capacity that feels good at that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great framework.
Yes.
I think it's so interesting how like Monday is like you need to rest, you need to recuperate, and then following Monday is a Mars day, which is like action, projects, drive, and
Hey, you got a full cup because of Monday.
now you have a full cup.
Yeah.
Now you can actually now you're at capacity to do things.
Yeah.
Now you have so much. You should have more energy.
Yeah.
Now let's go spend it.
Yeah.
On some stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, Tuesday is a wonderful day. Yes, finding movement, sweating. Getting projects and goals to the finish line is a wonderful thing to do on a Tuesday.
Okay.
What should we do on a Wednesday, you think?
Wednesday is communication. Wednesday is a great interview day. And I've been in sales for a long time, so that might be my best like pitch day, my best presentation day. So if you have something to communicate it that day. If again, if you have the luxury for scheduling. Did I get that right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. If you have hard discussions that you need to have, schedule it for that Wednesday.
Yeah.
That might go really, really well.
Okay.
Short travels.
Yes.
That's ruled by Mercury.
Ooh, okay.
Take a short travel out of the city, learn something new that day. So maybe read books, take some notes, do a seminar, go to a museum or something of that nature. Wednesday, you're going to have so much cerebral and brain power. So you definitely want to use that energy well. Moving on to Thursday, our Jupiter day.
A Jupiter day. So Jupiter, we love the blessings and abundance. So it sounds, I recall, I took note of this. So you can ask for favors that day.
Yes, yes.
Ask for favors. Know that there's like the universe is a little bit in your corner that day. So yeah, ask for favor. Well, sorry, there's more than that. Go be with your friends. Be normal.
It's like you remembered it's not just about me. Yeah.
Put yourself out there. Like with the universe being on your side a little bit more, like, yeah, it feels like that's the day where I'd be like, there's something that's scaring me. Just trust myself more on a Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thursday is definitely the day to do that. Can you imagine like it's a Thursday, but it's during sun hour or during Venus hour and you have a date?
Oh gosh.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Cultural immersion is also really great on a Thursday since that's like a Jupiter theme. Learning like a language or maybe going to a new like Latin restaurant or something would be great for a Thursday.
Yeah.
Trying something like that out. What would you do on a Friday?
Also took note of spending money. Well, I was like, this is something I naturally do. But yeah, so Friday, you mentioned a lot of people get paid, right, on a Friday. So it's a good day to circulate, it seems like, when I think of circulating currency. But I maybe point me in the right direction there. Why is it good to spend money that day?
Because that is a day ruled by Venus. And
Got it.
Yes. So our material wealth.
Yes.
And also like things are magnetized and kind of multiplied with Venus's influence. So like if you spend money on a Venus day during like let's say a Jupiter hour,
Mhm.
what you're spending will like multiply and circulate back to you.
Lottery ticket.
Okay. If you use that method and you win some money, share it.
Small cut.
First of all, with us. And secondly, let us know how that works out for you.
Yeah.
And if you are going to use this method and something happens during a specific hour, specific day, we would love to hear about how you've optimized this in your life as well. Friday is a great day for shopping, gathering with friends as well. Venus is all about those relationships. And I think we naturally do that on Friday.
Yeah.
Anyways, then we come to Saturn Day.
And how could I forget Saturday, Saturn, our Papa Bear, who teaches us the hard lessons. So that was the one that stood out to me because it's so like besides Monday, almost the most atypical to what we naturally do. Saturday, we often think of as having the best time of your life and let loose, work hard, play hard on Saturday. But really, it's being ruled by this kind of like get it together, boundaries, organize yourself. But I also want to steal Saturday as our day because we are ruled by Saturn ourselves. So a little bit of a rebranding. It's if you use Saturday well, the blessings will come.
You know what? I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point where maybe Saturday is supposed to be a little bit more fun because you did the work and maybe this is your reward day. Because Saturn does give gifts and rewards. That's a very integrated way of thinking about that. And you just helped me work through something.
Yay.
Okay.
So we can still love Saturday.
We can still love Saturday. File your taxes on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Organize that drawer.
File your taxes early on in the day on Saturday so you can have the reward later.
Period.
Yeah.
Which would be the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, cleaning up clutter and just getting a little bit more self-disciplined during that day.
I love this framework.
Honestly, this was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun to run through. I want to have a little bit more fun with our prompt for this week. So envision your most like integrated or embodied self.
Yeah.
We asked you to do this, I think, about 2 episodes ago or so.
Yeah.
And so that version of yourself probably has changed with what you've learned. What would they be doing throughout each day of the week?
Ooh.
Yes.
I love that. I love because like so many of my favorite meditations that have been really effective for me have that model.
Ooh.
Envision that highest self and then bring it to life. So to do on a day-to-day basis, I think is powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just and like have fun with it. It could be
Yeah.
who you are currently right now.
Yeah.
And like get as grand as you want. Like on Friday, I had drinks with my bestie, Beyonce or Mariah Carey. Like, you know, like just Barbie dream house, do it all for that exercise.
Yeah.
And then the shadow aspect of the prompt is, okay, but what's stopping you from living that week now?
I love it too because the more integrated you become, I feels like the gap between those should get smaller and smaller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now you're addressing the gap.
Yeah.
And now you're addressing your limitations. And then once you know, well, what's stopping you from doing that now, I want you to find workarounds for those limitations. So an example that I just used would be like, well, I don't know Beyonce, but nothing is stopping you from getting drinks with your friends.
Yes. Your friend who reminds you of Beyonce.
Who reminds you of Beyonce? Nothing is stopping you from getting drinks and playing Renaissance in the background.
Yes.
Recreate that. Like you are the barrier.
So on the nose that Beyonce is a Virgo.
Girl, and the astrology just astrologies. I think that's kind of like everything for this week.
Thanks for teaching me, Tianee.
Thank you for being receptive. This was really, really fun.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Inner Orbit. This podcast is created and hosted by Tianee Harris and Taylor Starr, produced and edited by Chloe Goodman, with original music by Joseph Goodman. Be sure to like, subscribe, or follow wherever you're listening so you don't miss an episode. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at InnerOrbitPod or email innerorbitpod@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a rating, review, or comment. We want to hear what you think, and your engagement goes a long way helping this podcast reach a wider audience. Thanks again for listening.